something a little bit different today. So it's just me. I'm in the Range Rover P38. Going to be doing a little bit of a technical one for you today, something a bit different. We are going to be replacing this. So that's the steering damper, goes into the front of the nose of the car. Chatting to Ben recently, and they've recently done the steering damper on their Discovery 2. So I thought, you know what, I'll give it a go and see if it makes a difference on the Range Rover. I don't suffer with the steering wobble, the wobble of death I think they call it, or something along them lines. But I do have some unusual stuff with the steering. It can be quite a fight to drive, so trying to keep it in a straight line can be quite awkward. It's almost like someone, if I'm in a straight line, it's like someone's got the front of the car and they're trying to nudge the front round ever so slightly. It's like they're trying to push the front of the car around ever so slightly, so you'll be going straight, then the car will twitch a little bit to the left and it might twitch a bit to the right. It's quite twitchy in a straight line. If you're going around a corner, sometimes it feels like it's skipping a little bit. It's just generally quite a fight to drive. It's not the most pleasant drive in the world. Ben said he had very similar sort of conditions with the Discovery 2. And he said as soon as he replaced the steering damper, it made a massive difference. And the drive is much more pleasant. So I'm hopeful that replacing it in mine is going to make the same difference. It'd be interesting to have a feel the difference between the two steering dampers as well, because I can push that in and pull it out. It takes quite a bit of strength and quite a bit of force to do it. So I'd be interested to have a feel of the one that's currently on the car once we've got it removed, and then take it for a drive and have a general feel of how it drives. But my intentions are there to get the steering damper replaced. Once the steering damper is replaced, and then probably later date in a week or so too, I'm going to have it get all the tracking redone and have the steering box tightened up. I mean, I can move the wheel quite a bit and there's not much response from the car, so I'm thinking the steering box could do a tightening as well, unless the dampener is really that soft and it's not doing its job properly. I can hold it straight, that's the wheel straight, and I'm going round to the right. Tracking's way out. So yeah, it'd be interesting to see what difference it makes. So watch this space, and I'll see you under the car in a little while. Oh, right, hello. You join me under a very grotty looking Range Rover P38, but today's challenge is this here. So that's our steering damper. So it's a bolt and nut that side, and if you can see past me, we've got a bolt and nut that side, and that will just drop straight out, and then we'll have a play and a feel and see just how much that damper is actually doing. So I'm going to go get some tools and I shall be right back. Alright, see what we're dealing with, shall we? Bigger than that, smaller than that. What size was that? Try that one. Might be that one. One up on the 19 mil. There we go. Wasn't sure it was just all the grub that was on it. The other side same. No, that's smaller. So 19 on the nut itself. Obviously, remembering the orientation here as well. So the actual body is on the passenger side. So this is the passenger side of the vehicle. The actual body of the ram's on the passenger. The ram itself's on the driver's side. So 15 on there. And that was a 19 on the nut itself. Make sure this is going the right way. On to nut number 2. Note to self, clean all the crap off the bolt head first before doing this. If you've got a wire brush, that's just cleaning the bolt first, all the thread. Should have thought about that before doing this because it's gone really tight now. Just where it goes over all the mud and crap. There it goes. Simple as that. Nut, bolt out. I'm trying to get the old nut out now, or bolt shall I say. See you wiggle, she's coming. And I've got an eye full of dirt. Ooh. That's actually trying to push yourself out. That's interesting. Hear the bolt. Alright. I see you right back out from under the car again. Already I can feel the weight difference between these. Back out from under the car. I'm not sure what brand or make this is. Doesn't look original. But already there's a weight difference. So this is terra firma. So I put that down there. This is the one that came out from under the car. Got a lot of force pushing against me. I push it in. Forces itself back out again, which is interesting. Pushing against the steering for some reason. Not sure it's supposed to do that. You can see a bit of wear around the rubbers, but nothing drastic. We get the other one. This is the new one, the new terra firma, shiny. This doesn't push against me, so I can pull that out. This is much, yeah, this feels much tighter on the, much more strength being involved to push this in. Yeah, that takes much more of my effort to force that in. There's a lot of weight in this as well compared to that one, which is interesting. It also starts forcing itself out. Wherever I leave it, it stays, but that keeps pushing itself back out, so I'm not sure why it's doing that or whether it should be doing that. But let's get the new one in the car. Ouch. New damper to go in, so remembering the body went towards the passenger side. So let's get me bolt. There we go. Pulling the damper out to the right length. A little bit too far there. There we go. A bit less. There we are. So it's about right. Get a bolt in. Simple as that. Right. Nuts on. so I don't get an eye full of dirt again. I do recommend, if you're doing this under your car, putting some glasses or goggles on, because you don't want rust and dirt in your eye. That's not fun. But as I say, do as I say, not as I do. Click. Whew. That's it. That's on, nice and tight. Join me in a minute. We go for a drive and have a feel what our new steering damper feels like. Hopefully, we have a much more pleasant drive. I shall see you in a bit. Right, so you join me again, back inside the P38. The new one's all fitted up, all tightened up. So we are going to go for a little drive now and have a feel and see if we notice a difference. So here we go. Hopefully,
waiting for
feels a little bit tighter and a little bit nicer to keep in a straight line. You know, like already that feels heavier. I feel like I've got more feeling in the steering already, just reversing. So this is going to be an interesting drive. Oh, that feels heavier. You know, I've just pulled straight off the drive. I'm doing 20 mile an hour, and already I've got weight in the steering. That felt really light before. I can definitely feel the additional weight of that dampener as I try and steer the car again now. Tracking's still way out, but like I say, I'm going to get the tracking done anyway. My plans to get the tracking done and get the steering box adjusted. Once we're out the village, we'll take it up the bypass, get a bit of speed up, see how it copes in a bit of a straight line. And some faster roads, get a bit more of a feel. Does feel really nice. I've been umming and ahhing, well, for anyone else who's been umming and ahhing as well, about whether or not you should replace the steering damper, whether you think your steering's just not quite right and you think, not really sure, if you've got any sort of symptoms we mentioned earlier, yeah, do it. I mean, that steering damper cost me from, I can't remember what the company's called now, I'll be honest with you, but it cost me 50 quid including postage and packaging. It's about £49 something, so just shy of £50, and for 50 quid, and yeah, there's more wiggling. If I wiggle the steering a bit more, the car's reacting a little bit better than what it was before. When before I could wiggle the steering and there wasn't really much reaction from the car, but now I wiggle the steering and the car is actually reacting a bit more. To go around the curve, yeah, that feels lovely. It's not skipping. Before, when I go around a curve, you can feel it ever so slightly skipping. Every time I went over a small bump or a little jolt in the road, it was like it was skipping, like it was pushing the wheels slightly. we join the bypass here, I'll put a bit of power down and we'll have a feel on a quicker road. Oh, I've got to say that feels so much better. You know, I don't feel like I'm fighting it. Again, before on a road like this, it felt like someone was, you know, so some really big bloke just pushing the front of the car, just pushing it, you know, against the side of the car, pushing it that way, and every now and then they'll nudge it just a little bit that way. So I was fighting it. I was, you know, going down a straight road, I was fighting it quite a bit. Felt like every time I went over a bump or a nudge in the road, every time I went over a bump, the wheels would do that a little bit, then they'll twist that way a little bit, they'll twist it back and forth. None of that anymore. You know, this is only a short drive, but yeah, what a difference. Yeah, like I say, if you've got similar things, or you're running an R for the sake of 50 quid, 50 quid and 2 bolts, easy job. Yeah, do it. Right, so once there's still a bit of play in the wheel, but that'll be down to the steering box. So my next thing now will be the tracking and the steering box itself adjusted. Hopefully then it'll be nice and tight and I have no play at all. Oh, that's brilliant. It feels so much more weighted. Around that roundabout there, just felt like driving a car. No skipping, no funny little jolts in the wheel. Felt absolutely perfect, as it should. So much more confidence in that now. That's the biggest thing as well. You know, I feel much more confident going around the corners. I was never suffering with the death wobble. Most people get their suffer with the death wobble and the first thing they do is replace the steering damper. Mine wasn't anywhere near that bad, which is why I never bothered replacing the damper in the first place. But even with it not being as bad as, you know, people who have had, you know, problems with the wobbly steering, it still made a massive difference. It's that weight as well, going around that curve. Got weight. I enjoyed that. That was a nice drive. That was pleasant. I'm looking forward to going some more longer drives now. One of the reasons why I've done it is we've got some big plans coming up, some future videos. We've got some Laning Adventures trips, got some quite a few miles to do. So that makes that much more enjoyable. So yeah, look out for the next video. Please like, subscribe and follow. It all helps. And we'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.